Was last night's event good for boxing?
Stephen A., I'm curious to hear what you have to say on this because I suspect I know.
I don't think it was good for boxing. I really don't. I'm disappointed in it. And, you know, the state of Florida wouldn't sanction about 35-pound difference. Floyd Mayweather came in heavier than he's ever been, usually fighting at 145 to 147. Fought at 155 last night. Logan Paul was at 189.5 pounds. It was like watching Rocky against Drago, for crying out loud. I'm talking about before they actually started boxing. I'm just talking about the size, just the appearance. I just look at it from this perspective. I love what Logan Paul and Jake Paul have done in terms of showing the boxing public that there's a way to make this money and to gain notoriety for yourself without being at the mercy of the promoters. If you want to say that it's good for boxing, I think that it's good from the standpoint that it puts pressure on the promoters, in my estimation, or it should put pressure for them to give us the fights that we want to see. Like, for example, there's no reason on earth that we should not see
Crawford
versus Errol Spence. We should see that. Okay, Anthony Joshua with Tyson Fury, we'll get that hopefully. But Wilder gets Fury for a third time again. Maybe Andre Ward will come out of retirement, Max. You'll know about that one day. I love Canelo Alvarez. He's my favorite fighter right now, and I think he's pound for pound #1 in the world. You want to see those kind of things. But when I look at this, and I just say to myself, a world-class, all-world champion like Floyd Money Mayweather, giving a YouTuber this opportunity, who's had one fight on his professional record, you know, and then you last 8 rounds, that's going to give life to novices out there who don't belong in the same class as these guys to think that they can do stuff like this. And I think that it's going to compromise the quality level of competition that we all salivate for when it really, really comes to boxing. As an aside, Max, just so you know, I spoke to, I don't know if you remember the former NBA player Kendall Gill.
Of course.
Yes. Kendall Gill and I spoke yesterday. He's been training twice a day for years.
Oh, yeah.
Boxing.
Yeah, he's calling everybody out. Yeah.
Well, he wants Jake Paul. He's been calling Jake Paul out for a long time. He wants Jake Paul badly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, an exhibition like that, I wouldn't mind seeing that, Jake Paul, assuming you get past Tyron Woodley. I wouldn't mind seeing that
I'll bet you we see that. I don't know if we see it next,
so.
but I'll bet you we see it.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think it was bad for boxing at all. I don't think it was a bad night. First of all, Floyd Mayweather's retired, and he's never coming out of retirement. He already made that clear.
Yes.
That was not Floyd Mayweather in a professional prize fight. That was Floyd Mayweather in an exhibition, which he deemed entertainment. He told everybody ahead of time what it was going to be.
He did.
This is no buyer beware. He told you. It's not like he sold you a false bill of goods. He told you, this is an exhibition. I'm going to go out and have fun, which is what he did. Now, Logan Paul built up enough of a following, I would say in social media, 20 million people, that he brings a lot of economic clout to events. And since he's much bigger than Floyd, and Floyd's been retired for years and everything, there was something about it that was intriguing. We can't pretend it wasn't. Who didn't want to see it? People bought it. Because this is all you need to know. Ding, ding, round 1. You watching, yes or no? Floyd and Logan Paul? Oh, yeah, you're watching. That's all you need to know. Everything else doesn't matter. And does it hurt boxing? Let me tell you, you brought up Rocky and Drago, right, Stephen A.? That's not the right Drago reference. The right Drago reference is Apollo and Drago. What you don't want is that in an exhibition, right? Oh, no one got knocked out, and Floyd just kind of played with him after the second round and walked him down and kind of didn't really want to finish him, it seemed, and all that. Do we want the opposite? We want Floyd to kill him, right? Is that what we're looking at? Do we want Logan Paul, rushed to a hospital in an ambulance? Is that what we're looking for? No, it's an exhibition. Were you entertained? Yeah, I was entertained. By the way, good undercard, Hurd and Arias. That was an upset, real good fight. You got to see Ocho Cinco. That was a night of entertainment. Now, it was, you don't want to pay $50 the next time one of the Paul brothers fights or Mayweather. Don't do it. No one's forcing you. But I'll tell you this. There are some events people try to make and the public's just like, I don't care. That wasn't this. People cared. I got no beef.
Stephen A. Smith says that Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul somehow hurt boxing and, boxing will be affected. Max Kellerman disagreed with it. I personally agree with Max. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Now, Floyd Mayweather, easy work. He got the easy bag, beat Logan Paul. It was an event. It was an exhibition. Listen, I don't know how many times I got to tell you guys this, but boxing fans, and it sounds like people are upset that Floyd didn't get roughed up by a guy who pretty much was a heavyweight, came in 200 plus pounds. I'm sure when they rehydrated, weighed in at 190. It was a crazy weight disparity. Almost looked unrealistic if we're being real. The Mayweather and Paul height disparity, but yet and still, this is what people signed up for, and it's just amazing. It's sad to see an African-American news personality like Stephen A. Smith, and he's doing his best to tap dance. Shout out to Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman, in my opinion, has turned more company man in recent times, so there's some things that I don't agree with that he said, but I think he was right here, and it's entertainment. This is it. Max Kellerman said everything that I told you, right? Logan got a bag, Floyd got a bag. It was entertainment. Floyd told you before the fight, right? He says that he and Logan Paul were gonna fight, make money, and it was an exhibition. They told you the rules. They said they'll allow knockouts, but obviously that's not a guarantee, especially when, look at the memes that are out. People are saying this is the size disparity. So it's just in poor taste, in my opinion. Stephen A. Smith doesn't really know much about boxing. Oh, I made this graphic. That's cool. Somebody reposted it. Floyd said, I don't fold under pressure. Great athletes perform better under pressure, so put pressure on me. And how many fighters have we seen from the GOAT, Muhammad Ali, and others that have done exhibition? It's ironic. I keep saying the same things in boxing. You have Julio Cesar Chavez, a Mexican legend out of Mexico, and he's getting ready to fight an exhibition on pay-per-view at age 55. After doing a trilogy with Jorge Arce, he's fighting Hector Camacho's son, and his son's on the card fighting against a former retired UFC fighter coming off a loss. So people are making this big to-do about Floyd and Logan Paul. Like, oh, Logan, bro, it's not a true fight. Floyd is retired. It's like some people are either trying to stir up commotion. It's like it's a disservice what people like Stephen A. Smith are doing. Credit to Max Kellerman for his assessment. This doesn't hurt boxing. In a week's time, when Showtime comes out with their next fight, like Jamal Charlo versus Montiel, they also got a pay-per-view with Gervonta Davis and things like that. Then the diehard boxing fans will be able to watch that and celebrate the true boxing fan fights. But y'all know what this is. People always find a way to hate and complain, but we know, and everyone, it's funny because people say boxing is a business, and then when it comes to a fight like this, which clearly had a lot of eyes on it, you see updated Mayweather Paul was #1 trending on Google with 10 million plus searches. So obviously this is representing the business and the level of interest. Logan Paul, Jake Paul, love him or hate him, they have developed these personalities that people are actually aware of and paying attention, and Floyd has done that throughout his career as well. So the combination and culmination of the two is just that. And the chick on the First Take, ESPN First Take, you guys couldn't hear it, but she also says, was this Logan Paul fans? But it's funny when it comes to a black fighter like Floyd Mayweather, people always try to give somebody else the credit as to why the event was successful. Like, no, it wasn't because of Floyd. It was because of Conor McGregor. No, the fight did good because of Logan Paul or Oscar De La Hoya or Canelo, or it was all Pacquiao fans. But the commonality and the common denominator is Floyd holds all these records. So you got to just give Floyd, like Steven Espinoza of Showtime said, you got to give him his flowers while he's still here. He knows how to put on the show, right? Logan Paul, he tested his skill. He was much bigger, and that's what it was. They were talking about it was like Rocky versus Drago. It's really like Rocky versus Thunder Lips. It was an exhibition, so I don't get what people are talking about. Last thing I'll say is, look at ESPN. They don't even have, they care, Stephen A. Smith cares so much about the health of boxing They don't even have a tab for boxing. They got a UFC tab, but they don't have an immediate tab on their landing page when you type in ESPN.com. So you have to click on this ... and more to even find boxing. Boom. You do that, what pulls up? Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul. So they keep saying it hurt boxing and it was detrimental. Well, you guys sure have a lot of posts about the fight. You know, just like they did when Jake Paul fought on Triller and when Jake Paul gets ready to fight against Tyron Woodley. Look, so for Stephen A. Smith of ESPN, an ESPN staff member, to say that it hurt boxing, they sure are very interested on their boxing landing page, which you have to click more to get to, right? They sure are talking about, look, it's all the posts are about Mayweather. You know what I mean? Until you finally get to Clarissa. Shout out to Guo. So obviously, this is one of the problems in boxing. People are saying this hurt. Like, let's say you're just a diehard boxing fan and you really, truly in your heart believe it hurts boxing. Then why are you trying to monetize the content? Why are you watching it? Why are you spending so much ESPN dollars to even promote it? Why not promote Shakur Stevenson? Shakur Stevenson is an ESPN fighter, and they're not even talking about his fight. Some of you guys won't know how to pronounce his opponent's name. He's fighting some random African. He's fighting in a week, right? But you got to go to Shakur's own page to see self-promotion, and they're saying that this is bad for boxing. So what's really bad? You have a silver medalist like Shakur Stevenson, and he's about to fight, and he's asking, look, he had to promote his own fight. So where's ESPN? They're spending a whole dialogue talking about something that's bad for boxing. So clearly they're trying to monetize the event, right? They're trying to monetize the event. Look, where's the promotion for him? Look, it's his fight week, and he's an ESPN fighter. So I think boxing needs to get over itself, and there's a lot of hypocrisy in boxing. People are saying, oh, Floyd ruined it, and he didn't ruin anything, because when the Showtime and Fox schedules come out, they got big fights. Pacquiao, Spence. If this wasn't your thing, then don't watch it. But people, it's like they watch it. It's like they look at Medusa and turn to stone and get mad that they got turned to stone. Like, you know, that's Medusa. She got snakes coming out of her hair. You look at her, you're going to turn to stone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Floyd told you he's going to rob the bank. He said he was going to do an exhibition, basically a glorified sparring, a shakeout. He said, I'm retired. And if you didn't heed the warning and you thought it was going to be rock'em sock'em robots against this big heavyweight dude with multiple weight class advantage, then that's your fault. But again, why monetize the content? You know, people need to be the change. If Stephen A. Smith feels it's so detrimental to boxing, why is ESPN First Take even recording a segment to discuss it? Talk about Shakur's fight and monetize that content instead of worried about that. And I just think it's also uber fake that Stephen A. Smith is like, he does these personal interviews with Floyd Mayweather and he acts like he's buddy, but on the low it's like snaky behavior. He hating. He's saying, oh, it hurt boxing. Look, and Floyd Mayweather Floyd gave him exclusive interviews. You know, he gave him exclusive interviews. Look up Marlon, say cheese, gave him exclusive interviews. And the black fighter is the one that is admonished by the black reporter, tap dancing, saying this hurts boxing and all that. And your colleague, Max Kellerman, he played it safe. It doesn't hurt boxing. It really doesn't. Look, Floyd's showing you his card collection, and then now you have a problem. The man is retired. Get over it. You know, so you could tell a lot of these big box companies, they have an agenda, and it's like a smear campaign. And again, whether you like Logan Paul or not, watch it or don't. Like, it's that simple. I don't go to the movie theater to see movies that I don't like or the trailer looks bad. Or if you don't like musicals and you know this, you're going to go watch Rent and it's a musical, don't watch it. If Floyd is boring to you, then don't watch it. But again, based on the stats and analytics and Showtime breaking and 10 million plus searches, it sounds like they know what they're doing. Checkmate.